Let's take a deep breath together, ladies. This week wasn't about hustling. It was about harmony. You built systems. You created flows. You delegated. You made space. Now it's time to pause, not because we're done, but because CEOs know reflection is strategy. Today, we're closing out the week with your CEO system reset, a reflection ritual designed to help you see how far you've come. It's designed to help you refine what is working and to rise even stronger next week. Welcome to From Corporate to CEO, hosted by the Power Move Collective. I'm your host, Nandy B, and this is your daily podcast that proves that you don't have to resign in order to rise. Here, ambitious women like yourself learn how to leverage your paycheck, your skills, and your corporate career to launch and grow your own business. And in just 10 minutes every day, I'll share power moves that will turn your 9-to-5 into your greatest investor. Make sure, however, that you hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. With that said, let's get on with today's episode. Let's take a look at what you just accomplished, not just this week, but across the entire CEO journey so far. Because if you've been walking with me since week 1, you've already built something real. So let's reflect on where we've been week by week. In week number 1, you stepped into your CEO identity. You learned to think differently, not like an employee waiting for direction, but like a leader setting her own path. In week number 2, you moved from idea overload to clarity. You learned to score your ideas and focus on what really fits your skills, your demand, and profitability. In week number 3, you started testing like a CEO, building momentum for your minimum viable offer, collecting data instead of waiting for perfection. In week number 4, you built your first offer, a structure that could grow with you, not drain you. In week number 5, you learned how to market with intention, creating content systems and rhythms that attract clients consistently. In week number 6, you tested and refined, turning small wins into repeatable systems. In week number 7, you built operational excellence, leadership, clarity, and consistency. In week number 8, you created your money systems, paying yourself like a CEO and treating your paycheck as your first investor. In week number 9, this week, you learned to build sustainability, systems, automations, rhythms, delegation, everything that frees you from survival mode and lets you lead with calm confidence. That is 9 weeks of structure, of clarity, and strategy, built step by step, framework by framework. And before we rush into next week, where we'll talk about scaling, I want us to pause. Let's ask ourselves, what is actually working for me? Where do I feel most at peace on this journey? What can I refine before I rise? And ladies, when I tell you that all the things that I'm showing you, I am also challenging myself to do the same along the way. I'm about to build my business mastermind. I have gone through a very similar process where I am learning to build my structures, my systems, and I have to keep asking myself these same questions. What is actually working? Where do I feel at peace? And where do I feel uncomfortable, like I'm overly stressed out? What can I refine before I rise or before I increase my price, my systems, before I add another service? What exactly can I refine first before I rise? This right here is your CEO system reframe. We are going to reflect, which means to look back with clarity. We are going to refine, which means to adjust what feels off. And we are going to rise, which means to plan what's next. These are 3 steps, 3 questions, and 1 purpose to make sure that we're not just moving fast, but we're moving forward. Now, let's start with the first CEO system reset, reflection. So start by reflecting on this week and honestly, this season of your whole journey. Really ask yourself, what has worked well in my business systems? What makes my days feel lighter, smoother, and more focused? Where do I see real progress, even if it's small progress? And by progress, I don't just mean numbers. I don't just mean making money. I mean progress, for example, in your systems, progress in your workflows, progress in, for example, creating the website, some of just the technical things that you need to do to be ready to onboard clients, or it could be progress in your visibility. This reflection part isn't about judgment. It's about data. It's not about shaming yourself for imperfections. It's about studying it. So we are going to use reflection as feedback, not as failure. And I do have an episode on how to take feedback as reflection and not failure. And we'll link that video in the description below. You've built the habits. You've learned the tools. You've shifted your mindset. Pause and acknowledge that, because progress deserves to be witnessed. Now let's talk about the second CEO system reset. Refine. This is where we adjust what feels off. Once again, let's lead with questions. What system still feels heavy to you? What tasks are you letting slip through the cracks? Also, where are you overcomplicating what could be simple? Refinement is how you protect your energy. So you don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. You eat the chicken and you throw away the bones. You make it better one step at a time. Maybe you need to adjust your schedule. Maybe you need to automate. Or maybe you need to communicate boundaries more clearly. Trust me, right now I'm working with a lot of freelancers. And I have to do a lot of, okay, here's the boundary, here's the line. We're not doing this, or this is how we are going to do things. This step is where you turn chaos into consistency, one tweak at a time. Now, let's talk about the third CEO system reset. Rise. Plan what's next. What will you focus on next week? What's one system or structure that you will commit to improving? And also challenge yourself. How would I lead myself with more ease and confidence? This isn't about you starting from scratch. It's about you scaling from solid ground. Because of what you've built here, this clarity, this calm, this consistency, this right here is the foundation of your CEO era. You're not building a business so you can work more. You're building one so that you can live more. And ladies, this is so important. All of this work we're doing, all of this double dipping between our full-time job and building the side hustle is so that we can get to the place where we can live more. And I want you, before you've even stepped out of your 9-to-5 job, to start thinking about building your side hustle as this sustainable business. Your systems are your safety net. Your rhythm is your flow. Your delegation is your freedom. And now that all of that is in motion, it's time to scale intentionally. And next week, we enter week 10, where we're going to talk about scaling with intention. We've talked about growing your business without growing your burnout. We'll look at how to expand your offers, how to amplify your results, how to increase your income sustainably. Because scaling isn't about speed. It's about strategy. My darling, I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me today on From Corporate to CEO. If you loved what you heard today, please subscribe to the show and visit us at powermovecollective.com. And if you are ready to start taking action, here are two great options. You can download our free Safe Start Blueprint. It's on our website, and the link is also in the description below. However, if you, my darling, are ready to take action and say goodbye to corporate America for good, join us in the Business Plan Mastermind that is kicking off on January 12th, 2026.